So, welcome everybody. Welcome, Michael. Welcome, Serafina. Lovely to see you, especially on this incredibly auspicious day. Really, there's 3 days of it. But we've got this period when there is something I want to read, which will blow your minds. The gist of it is that we're not just in the energy of creating a new chapter, we're actually in the energy of creating a new era. And I want to read you a little bit of the astrology about why that is. And I knew like months and months ago before I chose this day or yesterday to do as many, um, sort of sessions sending the info out. There was, this was one of the times in the year of looking forward in several years that it's so potent this time right now. Welcome, Alora, from bed. I hope you're feeling a little better.
I am. I've turned a corner. I still have
Oh,
low energy, but I've turned a corner
great.
at last.
Fabulous. Yeah. And, there's going to be a lot of that because we're talking about planting seeds. And those of you who were on the masterclass yesterday, it's literally like you don't even have to know what it is that you're planting. You just have to gather the energies, even from the peripheries of the periphery of your, I would say, like, you're just getting interested in something. You're just getting little insight here and there. You're just getting a little curious about something. Whatever it is, start to pull that in as this is part of your next era. And you'll get little hints and tingles and bits of information coming into you because we are really being asked, okay, next era, what do you want? What are you doing? And for me, it's lined up very specifically with creating a product for the first time ever in business. I've always wanted to, I've fantasized about it, but I've never actually done it. And then all of a sudden, all this periphery information just started doom, 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 has arrived at this time, and I've made a commitment. And I'm researching where's the best place to launch because I'm dual citizen, Canadian and English. Now, before this time, it was like floating around like a kind of, I don't know, maybe, and all of a sudden it's coming in. And I'm actually so interested in this kind of thing that we will have been developing ideas for years and you won't even pick up what you're developing. You're just curious about something. You just, ooh, that feels like an interesting fit. But this time, right now in this year, is it's like an opportunity where you can walk through a door and take with you some of these ingredients and to be able to say that you're planting without knowing what you're planting. Some things you will know, right? You'll just have an idea. But it's like that. The acceleration possibilities are just huge. So I want to formally welcome you into the just hugeness of this moment so that you can get a bit excited. And before we share and connect, I just want to read you this bit on the astrology from an astrologer I follow. It's short and sweet. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, and so it goes. And at 0 degrees Aries, right now, we have the absolute beginning of the zodiac, which is also the start of a 26,000-year wobble of planet Earth. This is the starting point, the trigger before you even start, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, even if you just have the hint of things coming in, the trigger before you even start looking at the other major planetary moves this month is this 0% Aries piece, which is Aries is the child of the zodiac. It's the beginning of the zodiac, all the 12 signs. It ends with Pisces, and then it goes back to the baby, which is Aries. And the baby Aries, in its purest form of energetics, is I am. I am. And it's got this like, a toddler landing in the room causing chaos because it is anything it says it wants to be. There's no focus whatsoever. It's just a bundle of energy arriving. And if you imagine, that's the 0 degree point of Aries. So the words I am, which are used in so many yogic texts and mantras, the I am, it's whatever you say you are, you become. You are the I am. And this is the beginning of saying something, profound to yourself. Yesterday we were working with, I did 2 different master classes. One was called Breaking Your Crystal Ceiling, which was not part of this group. But I was really encouraging people to think, well, if you could be the best of the best of the best of whatever genre you're looking at, what does that mean? Some of you will shrink back and feel like, oh, I don't, know whether I could ever be the best. But if you can engage with that power of I am the best, and then there are others who are around me who are also the best, it's non-competitive. It's just this blasting out of energy of I am the best. So this is the starting point where the sun and moon are meeting on this point to give us one hell of a sky-high blast. It's the klaxon gun for the new era of mankind. And as this new dawn appears, Aries ruler Mars will be slipping into Cancer, a place where Mars feels totally out of place. The warrior in the kitchen, the firecracker in the women's tea room. Is this history repeating itself when a new Earth lasts until somebody eats the wrong apple? Somebody listens to the snake, and incredible lines of truth are revealed. This is the fall. We are all innocents at 0 degree Aries, all naked in front of God, ready to begin our journey, to pick up our baton, to bravely go where we haven't been before. Let's do it. But remember, in a few days, Mars's entrance into Cancer will upset the apple cart of truth and all knowing. So you kind of get the gist of like how important this is. We're starting a new era, and it's got that bomb-like energy of where a firecracker goes off in a tea room. There's something awkward about it because it moves into Cancer, which is the home. And so expect an there's unsettlement to it as well. And so we the seed planters at this time need to hold tight to what it is that you're creating. Like you've got to be bigger than it, and also acknowledge like a sort of historical shift that's taking place now. It is actually this new Earth shift, and this is part of it. It's going to accelerate. If you have an idea or a business or something like a thread of your business which you want to work on right now, that's going to be the accelerant. So as I was saying, in my own life, I've never considered really doing a product before. I've dallied with the idea for many years and thought, ooh, that'd be kind of nice. But all of a sudden, this information is accelerated and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. Like I'm aiming for 6 months, I'm doing it. And the success behind that, whatever it is that you're creating right now, is just huge, because it takes on, in so many different ways, in so many different astrological ways, what you've got is an expansion happening, expansion of the good stuff. So if you do not want to expand anything where it's a sort of negative doubt and, putting like, oh, I'm not going to be good enough, into an expansion mode, will expand it into the highest level of I'm really not good enough. So you've got to work on it right now. And the planting seeds bit is, we don't plant seeds of the negative. I mean, there's just, why on earth would you want a harvest of, a terrible harvest, right? To give you an analogy, you want the best of the best. And so you've got to see yourself as the best of the best without even knowing where you're going necessarily with it. So that's a fabulous opener. And I don't know how you're all feeling please come in and jump in and say whether you have little ingredients that are starting to show up that could be a something for you, where you're heading that you don't even know. Michael, let me add you. Hello.
Hello. Um, so I have found somewhere to live in Brighton, and I've had this studio space on the beach since December. So I've been really trying to make this move happen, and I've just been down to Brighton for a meeting at the studios. And one of the things that when I was in Brighton the other day, looking around at places to move to, I I just kind of thought actually Brighton really needs a puppet theatre of some sort. And I've had this thought a few times of thinking like there must be somewhere on the beach, there must be some kind of property or somewhere that's waiting to be used, even if it's just a space as a pop-up space. And I went for a meeting in Brighton today at the studios just to have a general meeting about managing the space and everything. And one of the guys there, an elderly guy, also is interested in puppets and makes sort of pop toy theatres and stuff. And I thought, well, I must ask him, if there's anyone in the area, or what connections does he have? And I went to talk to him and sort of said, I don't suppose you know any sort of spaces around here. And literally, I mean, we went out the door. He went and said, oh, I'll take you over to the fishing museum. They've got a loft space. And thinking like, okay, don't get too excited. A loft space. I hope he knows the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Uh, and and so the fishing museum is it's just a few doors down on the beachfront, and went in, and he introduced me to this guy, took me up into the loft space, which is exactly the kind of space that I was picturing, exactly the space.
Great.
With the right size. He's like, yeah, it can seat about 60 maximum. And yeah, you can hire it by the half day
Oh my
at a very
God.
reasonable
Amazing.
rate. And it's a few
Amazing.
doors down, thinking like, okay, so I can play here over the summer. It's literally a few doors down. This is exactly what I was picturing. Like I'm still kind of processing it, because I was just kind of like, oh my God, this is incredible. That's exactly what I was hoping. And it's there.
How
And
fantastic.
yeah, and I found somewhere to live. And the guy, I've been
Ooh.
looking for somewhere for the past 6 months, and this guy, went into his house. Yeah, we've got so many similarities. We clicked right away, and I've got this feeling that he is also going to be involved in this work in some way, like even if it like as a technician, or just kind of, but just got this kind of sense like, yeah,
Mm.
this guy David is, this, I found a home. And yeah, confirmed it on my birthday last week. It just felt like this really auspicious kind of day. And I spent the night there last night before I'm moving in officially at the beginning of the month. But yeah, I've just got the sense that, yeah, it's all kind of coming together. And it's really exciting.
It's totally exciting, and happy birthday, by the way, as
Thank you very
well.
much.
Uh, and that feeling of like the periphery, like you even have feelings about David could be part of it, a technician. The success levels of like what you've lined up right now are it's just the timing couldn't be more perfect for this. So it will be planting a seed for that. What is it? What was it? A sea museum,
It's a fishing museum on the
fishing museum.
downstairs, but above it is this arched empty space with a window that can be blacked out, and it's just a plain space that can be used for anything. People
Right.
are, use it as performance. It's not, but it's just there to be hired. Which is exactly, and I wanted, what I was thinking is like, yeah, people on the beach to like literally be able to
Absolutely.
kind of like, oh yeah, there's the thing. And I was thinking it really needs to be right smack bang in the beach, and that's where it is. And
That's
it's
so
exactly what I was
amazing. I
picturing,
mean,
exactly as I pictured it.
yeah.
And it
And
was just
Brighton is
waiting
going to be
there.
incredible.
Yeah,
It's just perfect for kids coming in and,
yeah.
all of that kind of thing. I'm just stroking a cat. That's why I keep dipping down. My
And the fact
boys
that I
come
can
in.
literally store the show, a few watches down, and just take it down and set it up, because I don't have a van, I don't drive.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking, like, God, this whole touring thing, it's going to be a bit of a kind of stretch. It's not impossible, but ideally what would be great would be to have somewhere in Brighton to perform. And yeah.
Completely amazing. Yay! Well, that is success that we can celebrate with you and bring it on at this time because it's just going to accelerate. Like this is your new era.
Can I just
This
say
is the
one
new
other
era.
thing really
Of
quickly?
course.
So in
Yeah.
the last meeting, just before, I got this thing asking if I was available to do a walk-on role in a McDonald's advert. And I have always, like, previously, if I've been asked to advertise, to take part in a McDonald's or alcohol or stuff like that, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. And like this time around, I was like, God, I really need the money. Like, it's a walk-on part, so it's paid a bit more. And I was like, okay, I'll say I'm available. And then as we started last meeting, you were talking about things about, so what are you going to say yes to? What are you going to say no to? And I was like, why am I saying yes to McDonald's? And then as I was sat there, like, a thing came through saying, like, McDonald's are really interested, or, the directors interested, and kind of like, are you available to do a kind of this or that? And then you started saying something about McDonald's, going about how awful they were. Just
Yeah,
as those thoughts were running
apologies.
through my mind, I was like, I've got to withdraw and say, no, I'm not available. I can't go into this work, start saying yes to things that I previously have definitely said no to, just because I'm perceiving a lack of money. That is not now the time to kind of, start wavering in my integrity in that
Yeah.
way. So it was a really auspicious timing. As you said those things about McDonald's, I was like, oh my God, you know, what incredible timing. Anyway, sorry, I've said quite a lot
That's
now, but
amazing. So did you say no to McDonald's?
yes, I just sort of said, I'm so sorry, something's come up and I'm no longer available. So
Yay.
I mean, it wasn't a complete sort of like, yes, you're booked, but it was kind of getting that way. And I was like, oh God, like, before I know it, they're going to, it's much
Have
easier
you in
to
a
withdraw now.
hamburger outfit? Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what
the thing is, as we discussed, that's the temptation, right? Through desperation, lack, we say yes to these, it's off. Like the whole thing is off. You're feeling it's off. Even, the fact that I happen to be using that as an example, it's off. And then you could capitulate and you say yes. But actually, what happens when we say a powerful no, these are the structures. Look at what's happened since then. It's like it is actually part of it, even though it'll look like it's two distinct, different things. It's actually part of it. You've ended up landing your vision with, I've spoken to you for a few months about this, and there's been huge, instability, shall we say. And look at you now. Look at this now. I mean, the
yeah,
excitement, it's visceral. You can really see it in your face. Yeah, it's fabulous.
yeah,
And no McDonald's. Well done.
no McDonald's.
um, would anyone else like to share where you're at?
Yeah, I'll share. I want to say congratulations to Michael when you were talking about Brighton and puppets. I was thinking about when I was tiny, 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 my great uncle, my grandma moved to Peacehaven, and I don't know, he ended up babysitting me for the day. I think he actually left me, but he left me at a Punch and Judy show on the beach, kind of sat me down. And then I thought, yeah, I mean, it's such a perfect place for puppets, with kids and, so congratulations. That's brilliant. So brilliant. Yeah. So, I've been in this place of being sick, the last few weeks, and it's just been really challenging, and I've had all this time of literally just being a couch potato, but not even having the energy to get on my computer, to work on marketing and promoting, but sort of had the time to really think about and just turning 60. Oh, happy birthday, Michael. Left for last week, fellow Pisces. You know, like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Or what am I doing? And And I mentioned last time, I'm so over the promotion. I'm so over the hustling. You know, I just find it so, it's not where I want to put my energy. And where I want to put my energy is finishing my book, you know, my memoir, that I just closed up on, you know, after you and I met with Janess and B in London. It was just like, oh my God, you know, how am I going to do this and write this? But I really saw with being sick how much time I do have to write if I schedule my days, you know. And I've got the outline for the memoir. And I just really feel that once it's out there, because it's also a product,
Yeah.
that it would bring other opportunities. And I don't know why I've got such a mental block, like creative, you know, writer's block around it. Yeah. So, you know, that's sort of where I'm at, that I've got the idea. The idea is, you know, I will finish this book and get it out. And in the meantime, I'm being interviewed for books left, right, and center. And those books are coming out. You know, this book just came out on Some Bazaar, you know, that record company we were signed to. And, you know, and everything I hear is that there's just this resurgence of interest in the 80s, you know, the 80s music scene. So yeah, I'll wrap it up there.
Well, that's fabulous. I mean, I think perspectives of, you know, how you change, but that's a periphery idea, right? It's just floating around. And now if you grab it, and actually, the other thing is, yesterday there were a couple of people on the masterclass who were saying when we'd moved out of soil, it worried them a little bit that they had to be definitive about what they're doing. Like suddenly we're at seed planting, because that marination, that dwelling in the earth, had become, I suppose, a bit like a sanctuary that you can stay in the not doing, the not doing. But you know, everything that I do specifically is with cycles. And so you take the prompt from the cycles that you're being given. You take the prompt. You don't force the issue of the cycle. You just take the prompt. And it's not that you have to do a lot. It's that you have to initiate something. That's what it is. It's an initiatory idea. That's what fire, Aries, baby fire is. And so even in the speaking, in the way that you would speak about it, you know, I'm a published author.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the best at what I do. We don't say those things very often. We don't describe ourselves as the best, because it's seen as controversial sometimes, or especially with women, they like to play a bit smaller and people please. But those are the seeds of the doing now. It's not the, remember what the visual is on a seed. It goes into the ground. So you've now prepared your earth. You've been working on the earth and the marinating ideas and playing with it. And then you've been creating structure by saying no to things, which have been really important to say no to. We've started looking at the yes energy as well. Where does it show up? What is it activating in you? A yes, like a full body yes. And that also creates a structure. And then when you've got the seed, the irony is that you put it back into the earth, cover it up, and then you don't see anything happening, right? It could be the same visual as the field right at the beginning. It could be a still another empty field, but this time you know there's something in it. And that's a very different knowing than, so it's not a doing, it's a knowing. And it's a bringing in these energies that we want to initiate. So for me, like example that I'm giving you is like, I started doing concrete research because I'm a dual citizen, where to actually form the business. The product is in Canada already. So do I want to, what's the tax rates, all of this? Now that's initiating an actual concrete piece of earth, right? I'm planting a seed there. I'm getting the information so that when I'm ready to go, I'm informed. But it's not any longer playing with the idea, hey, someday I might want to have a product. It's detail. It's like, boom, here we go. Now I'm looking at the thing as if I've planted that seed and I'm giving it a 6 month, launch, actually. I'm going for it. In my own mind, I'm going for it. It's a different energy than, hey, just thinking about it. And that's what we want to shift today. We want to shift to the, I'm not selling it yet. I'm not, haven't got a little stall down in the market or anything, but I've initiated it and I know that, right? It's different. It's in here. So I'll leave you with that thought. Maybe Serafina, do you want to come in and talk about you? Just share a bit.
Yeah.
You can meet these guys. Serafina's joined the group.
Yeah. Hi, Michael. Hi, Laura. I've watched all of the
Oh yeah, of
videos.
course you have.
I feel like I've been with you guys and I took notes. You said don't take notes. So I've been following your puppetry journey and your journey with the writing. And so congratulations and happy belated birthday to both. I'm actually Aries and my birthday is coming up. So everything you were saying today was a little like more interesting in a way. And yes, as I was doing my no's and my yeses, I remember like walking past this pharmacy on West Hampstead, and I've lived there previously to Clapham. I remember seeing these ads of mums with their children and my body just going, oh, I'd love to do an ad like that or something. And then after I started with you in this group, I got this invite to go do some photos. And I wrote to them and I said, what are the details? What are the looks? What do I come prepared with? And it was just like, oh, there's a world of opportunities out there. And I was just like, no, this is a full body no. Because I was like, I'm not coming for vagueness. I'm coming for specificity. And she basically said, oh, okay. And she left it. And then she texted me back saying, okay, these are the 3 looks. Can you come back for it on another day? So I said, okay, all right. Saying no sometimes works. And then I'm in property. So I always have interactions with builders. And my builder in Liverpool actually ditched me very badly last year. Right, like as my tenants were moving in, there was like a leak in the ceiling and this guy he just disappeared. And then right now we're having works done at our house in Clapham, and the builders just delayed everything by 2 weeks, like the kitchen measuring and this and that. And I remember what you said about you can energetically say no, and I've said no to Chris, the builder, right now, and I'm gonna see what happens. But just having the ability to do that sort of takes you out of that, I don't know, is it desperation or is it just feeling like you've just been used? Because he's done a lot of work for me and my family over the years. So I think that was an empowered way of dealing with the situation. So that really helped. And creatively, I just feel like, oh gosh, I mean, I have these 2 podcasts and I've worked so hard on getting 3 ebooks together. And I've just finished 1 ebook on helping families heal from miscarriage. And it literally took every ounce of heart, mind, soul, body, all of it to edit it because it was so traumatic. I had to relive it. And now I'm at the point where I have to write to to St. Thomas's actually in London, where, they helped me a lot, and the early pregnancy unit, and ask them if they're going to help me promote it. And I'm just like, oh, why would they do that? I'm just like, what, you know?
Because you're the best.
Yeah, because I'm the
That's
best,
why.
exactly.
Because you're the best. Yeah.
So that's kind of floating around, and that's what I'm, like, what am I gonna do with these podcasts? What am I gonna do with these ebooks? And that's my soil, and those are my seeds, and I'm just waiting to see what happens, what the white wolf is going to do with all of these seeds. And I just did the meditation last night. I don't know how it is for everyone, but I just haven't been able to sleep these last 2 nights, and I'm
Yeah, me
so
neither, actually. That's so rare for me, but me neither. I've been waking up in the middle of the night. I'm aware of it. Yeah.
and
So,
so feel everything that you're talking about. I guess I'm so full of self-doubt. But then this morning, like, an idea came to me that I shared with you. I've spent about 50,000 pounds on courses, right? So doing this course was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have some shit. So I got in touch with someone today who's gonna come on Wednesday to I'm gonna sell a lot of my bags and shoes and whatever. But I had this idea this morning of, this is the one course that feels so different that I wanted to be live with it on Facebook and share what was happening. And for the first time, I didn't feel abject fear. Like, I felt happy and I felt comfortable. So I don't know where I'm going to go with it, because I'm the queen of, yes, inside, but also I'm the queen of backing out of stuff when I feel like it's too out there. So I don't know, but this is where I'm at, and this is we'll see how it evolves, I guess.
well, that's the knee-jerk reaction that you have, the queen of backing out. We want to shut the back door on that, literally. Like, literally, you are no longer identifying with that. So you stop saying, I am that, and instead take on your new one, which you got yesterday, which I'm the queen of insight. And the thing is that as you become the best at insight, and you are somebody who is, you're seeking a place to you want to find a home for the podcasts and for your ebooks, and right now you don't know how, and so that brings a big piece of doubt into the equation. But instead of trying to find the how, focus now on I'm the queen of insight, because the queen of insight can sure as hell figure that out, right? There's going to be something which will happen on an energetic level.
Yeah.
There's a very good way of putting this that when I've worked in Landmark before, I've mentioned a few times I've done these courses in Landmark years ago, but I did 28 courses of Landmark, which is all to do with communication. And some of their systems are really fantastic. There are certain things that just stay with me. And a leader talked about this, whatever energy you have. So you imagine if I'm the energy of backing out, right? And I know this, and I allow it to just be part of my personality, so that I can even say to friends, I'm that person who backs out every now and then. It's like the back door, right? And how others will experience you is when you walk in the room, backing out walks in the room. It's like an energetic frequency that goes whoosh, and people can feel it. They can sniff you out before you say anything. So you have to deal with your backing out, which is lack of commitment, to self. Actually, it's to the self. When you start to cultivate, I am the queen of insight. When I walk through the door, insight walks through the door, like that. There's nothing in that energy which is about backing out or, wobbly earth or hazy commitment, right? It's queen of insight is here. And you start to focus on those things that you are saying, rather than cultivating this sticky energy, like playing around with it. I can imagine, well, I used to go out with a guy actually who totally did my head in. And he used to say, oh, we'll see how it goes. We're just seeing how it goes. We're just, we're seeing how it goes. Don't get all heavy. Like, what, are we really in a relationship? But I was looking after his, from the age of 2 till 6-year-old child. And for me, as the stepmom who adored this child, I wanted a level of like, hey, we're family. We are family, and this is a committed action here. And all of that, like, hey, we're just going to see, and da da da, and I don't like to name it, and this sort of jumping out the back door bit. In the end, he did. He just, exactly. It was like, got that. That was exactly what you did. And the damage that he caused, both to me and to his son, it was like, whoa. I nearly had a nervous breakdown at that time in my life. It was part around the time when I was really wanting children, etc., etc. And now I sniff out that stuff where clients can't commit, whatever. It's like, it's an energy, it's a destructive energy that you play with. And so I'm saying this to you just to give you the confidence. Stop playing with it. Chuck it out. That's not one that you're going to say anymore. And instead, like, what's going into your future from this point of the new era is, I'm the queen of insight. And insight says everything that you can figure out, right? You don't need a back door to jump out. You've got the insight to be able to figure out anything. If it's not right for you, you will choose to leave. If it is right for you, you will choose to stay. It's a very different energetic piece that you're playing with then.
Hmm.
And therefore, there's nothing to be afraid of at all. You're
Okay.
just trying on a new jumper, the insight jumper.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Pleasure. So this is more of a ceremonial experience today. So I do want to pull cards again, because we're in this, this period of, there's a 3-day all the way to Friday new moon experience going on. And I pulled cards for myself, and I was like, whoa, these are amazing. Like, wow, there's something happening here. It's not going to look the way you expect. That's that kid in a china shop piece. It's not going to be quite what you expect, but you just hang on to your seeds. You hang on to the things that you're creating, and it's going to work. So let's start with Michael, because you weren't here yesterday. So if you just shut your eyes for a moment. And this is for everybody, but you're going to be the one who calls it. My guide's working with your guides. And you can just tell me when to stop shuffling.
Okay.
Great. So you got a goddess Hera, and she's a power goddess. So let me read you about her. She's a red goddess, and this is for everybody on the group as well, just to be clear. This goddess represents maturity and dignity. She has a regard for her position and the power to maintain it while keeping the respect of others. She indicates that although you may not necessarily approve of something, allowing it to run its course can sometimes be the best answer. The first of the red goddesses, Hera, represents the more mature, sustaining, and preserving approach to life. The nature of water in Cancer is to care for and nurture those who are deemed family, no matter how wayward they are. This is the most motherly of all signs. If this card is selected, then July will be a significant month with regard to the position. And there's a little key that says, the key phrase is, no need to rock the boat. So it's very stable. It's in water. It's a boat in water. You don't have to, do the Aries kid thing, like landing in a china shop. Just if there's something which is running out and you don't need to end it quickly, you can just, let it trickle off. So that's that. Let's have one. Alora, you're about to leave, is that right? You got a few minutes?
I got a few minutes because I was listening, but I got dressed.
Why don't you do the next one then? Let's get you to pull a card for the group.
Okay. Stop.
Competitiveness. And it's leaves. It's waxing fire moon. So it is a fire moon, and this is fire moon happening. So very connected on that. And it's the first quarter fire moon, so it's exactly what this moon is right now. So this is when the moon moves to the first quarter in fire, 90 degrees from the sun. Its face is half dark, half light, and everything is held in balance. For the fire element, that is not enough. This phase produces a strong urge to push ahead, to bring things to your advantage. It encourages the desire to win. And when it's in the moon of Aries, this is the most aggressive of the first quarter moons, which it is right now, right? It is aggressive, but not doesn't have to be antagonistic. It's just like time to go, boom. It's a time when the urge to defeat any and all opposition in order to make progress is taken to the extreme. So all of you out there, you want to be the best, and it's that aggressive thing. Like, I don't feel competitive with other people, but I feel competitive with myself. And so I'm like, ready to go. Let's do this thing. And then the final one, we'll pull an animal card, and it can be Seraphina who calls this in. So if you just take a moment and just tell me when.
Now.
Now. Oh, this is a great one for you. Rhino spirit. Overcome any obstacle. So that's pretty clear. You can overcome any obstacle. You don't have to have a back door. Let's see what this is for you. Overcome any obstacle. We always have the choice to press ahead, and Rhino Spirit's strength offers you the power to break through stubborn obstacles. This animal spirit knows that there is more than one way to open a path to where you seek to go. When Rhino Spirit appears, you are reminded that you have a marvelous ability to overcome obstacles in multiple ways, by going around them, shattering them with the force of clear, deliberate intentions, or even transforming them into clouds, that you drift away by refusing to allow them to limit you. Apply your Rhino spirit with creativity, and no obstacle can stand, for you have the magic to make and many ways in which to make it. Your power is awesome right now. Rhino Spirit also wants to remind you that when an obstacle appears to prevent you from getting what you desire, it means that something much better is coming. Keep that in mind when you consider the nature of the obstacle in front of you. Great Spirit loves you so much that it only wants the best for you. And that's for all of us. So if it doesn't quite happen the one way that you expect, just hang in there, little rhinos. I'll sing you the rhino song and just keep going. It's like, just keep going and don't back out of things because you're nervous. So let's go on a little planting journey so that you can really solidify your intentions and to really get how like freaking awesome this time is. It's off the scale. And when you look back with the sort of level of insight, right? And you're the queen of insight, but the queen of hindsight, when you look back and you see things through the eyes of hindsight and you think, I never even knew that was the most amazing time. So Bobby Klein, who was a master teacher to me years ago, and he was Jim Morrison's best friend. And so he spoke like he kind of had an American kind of, slow, and he was super cool and all of this. And I remember when he'd done a channeling session and he said to me, I see you with elixirs. I see you with, these products, da 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 da. And I was like, we're on the wrong path here. Like, I'm sort of talking about totally other subject matter. And I was like, what's he talking about? Really, this is just so weird. And then he said at some point, I see you also getting into fashion. And I'm like, I like fashion, but it just did not resonate. Well, that was about 7 years ago. And just saying, with the joy of hindsight, I could have seen that there was starting to be a path laid towards something. And right now, even though you don't fully know, this will be the moment when your podcasts, your ebooks, Alora's book, Michael's Puppet Theater, and my product, and all you other guys who are going to see this, there's like a kickstart happening here. This is a different conversation. So enjoy. This is really, really powerful time to be together and to uphold each other in that level that we want of the best. So shut your eyes and take a deep breath in and just exhale. And another one of those, deep breath in and exhale. And then sip the breath. So you breathe the next one in fully and then take some extra sips of this quality of the air. So you take a deep breath in and then try and fill in the side ribs and then maybe the back and then the upper chest and then hold. Hold for as long as you can. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then when you can't hold it anymore, let it go. And imagine that you are in the most beautiful place in nature. You've been invited to come to this sacred land because you know you are celebrating the equinox. And as you come into fully exploring and experiencing the land that is so true to you, it could be anywhere on the planet. It can be any season. And you enter this beautiful landscape knowing that you've been invited here to experience an initiation at the equinox and the new moon in Aries. As you arrive into this space, you feel that you were attuned naturally in this landscape. This is a power place for you. It's a place when you naturally feel, I am at home in this land. And breathing into this land, you feel your feet planted, your bare feet planted on the earth. You feel the texture of the earth, the quality of the connection between you and the earth. And you feel at home, completely relaxed. And as you look down to see the earth, you realize that you are naked. And the feeling is complete freedom and complete safety. Complete freedom and complete safety. You feel that you can be completely yourself, unique, standing in this landscape, everything working. And there's a little path that is going off to the left. And the path has got a crystalline feel to it. As you step onto the path, you see it's glowing because it's made of high quality white quartz. And so there's a warmth to it. It is not a cold path. There's a warmth because it's been in the sun. It also glows a little bit and it shows you where you're going to go. And as you wander down this trail, you also feel the frequencies of crystal coming through your feet, sending this kind of energetic buzz, a little bit like a battery. And you feel so good in yourself. You feel the picture of health. All the aches and pains or the illness that you've experienced recently just fades away. And you just feel the power of your own body, your own breath, the eyesight being clear, the strength in your limbs. And as you walk ahead, you are humming a little song to yourself. And the song begins with each sentence, I am. And you're just humming along and you are allowing words to flow through as you're humming this little song, all of which present you as the best. And so it could be, I am attractive, I am energized, I am confident, I am wealthy, I am fabulous, I am enduring, I am in love. And you're singing it like a little song, humming along, singing to the trees and the birds as your witness. And as you wander deeply into the woods, the pathway turns sharply to the right now, and you realize that you're going into a sacred grove. And right at the center of the sacred grove is a white temple, also made of crystal. You cannot see within it because the crystal is opaque, but there's a beautiful door. It looks slightly Indian, and you go towards the door and you feel, I am going in. And you do. You just open that door and you feel a natural affinity, like this is my place and I have been invited here. As you walk into the center, you shut the door behind you and you see right at the center is a beautiful altar, also made of this crystal. And the interesting thing is that when you were outside, you couldn't see in. But when you're inside, you can see in all directions out. This is this magical crystal quality where on the inside, everything is absolutely shiny and visible. And right at the center of the temple is this beautiful altar. And there are the four elements represented. There is incense wafting, the most exquisite scent, perfect for you. You just simply love it. And that represents air. There is a candle, a beautiful candle, burning away already as you come in. It's been lit for you, and that is fire. There is a chalice with turquoise water in it, and you look in it and it's so clear, and this is your water. And then there is a crystal which represents the earth element, an incredibly highly faceted, beautiful crystal right at the center. And as you look at the four elements, you experience the simplicity of the quality of the best. This is the best of fire, the best of air, the best of water, and the best of earth, represented in such a simple, understood form. There's nothing complicated about this. And right in the center is a little dish, and there are 3 seeds waiting for you to plant something important. You come to the altar and you pick up the dish of seeds, and then you take out one and hold it in the other hand. And you feel the texture of it. You feel the weight of it. You feel the temperature of it. And the first seed is for something that is really obvious to you that you want. Something that you really, really want to bring into fruition. It's going to be part of a harvest for you this year. So ask yourself, what is it that you really, really want in an obvious way? What do you want? You want to see the results within this year. And as you speak over the seed, you speak from the language of I am the best and I want this. I am and I want. And as you speak the words, the seed shimmers as if it's got a life force all its own, and it shimmers and vibrates in your hand, and then you put it down on the altar. The second you pick out of the dish and place in your other hand. And this is one where you say, I am powerful. I am powerful, and I desire. So allow yourself to speak the words that come through. I am powerful, and I desire. And then picking up the seed, as you speak the words, again the seed responds as if it's got a life force all its own. It takes on a little buzz, a little fizz, and you place it back on the altar. And then you take the third and final seed. And this is, I am, and I wish. So I am, what are you? And I wish. And then again, you place it in your other hand and you feel the life force, the charge that's gone through this seed. And you feel it come to life. It's activated. You take the 3 activated seeds now, and over in one corner of the temple, there is a sacred vase. And when you take the lid off it, you see the richest, most beautiful soil. This soil is a mix of soil from all the different parts of the world, a spoon from all the different parts of the world, which has the richest harvest soil. So it is not from one place, it is a mix of earth, of the best earth. And beside the urn, there is a little golden trowel, and you are invited to create 3 tiny holes in the soil, and then to bless the soil itself. So once you've dug your little hole, you actually place your hands over and you bless the place that you're planting. You bless the soil that it may take your seeds and grow them to be the strongest, the most powerful, the most confident seeds, that when they come to fruition, they produce the most beautiful blooms, the most delicious fruit, the tallest trees, and they are being placed in the best earth from the four corners of the planet. So once you have completed your blessing of love upon this soil, blessing of love upon the planet, blessing of love to where I plant these, you then place each one in its appointed hole, and then you scoop the soil over and you pat it down, again speaking words of love, loving the soil itself, loving the seeds, loving the journey. And then you go back to the altar and you take the water and you pour it on your seeds, this magical water from the altar. And then you take the lid of the urn and you place it on top so that the seeds are in perfect darkness. And then you sing to it. You sing to the urn. You sing the merry little song that you were singing, I am, and all these positive attributes. You sing the seeds into being. You sing the seeds into activation. And you take the urn and put it back on the altar, along with the chalice. You thank this place, for it is an honor to have started the journey in this place. You know that your seeds are completely secure. You know that they have started their journey. And you feel this immense trust that this is the beginning of your new era, that these seeds are representations of your new era as it bursts into being, and that it's in the temple where all is trust. And then you turn and you walk through the door. You seal the door. You know that these seeds are in a sacred, magical place. And as you walk away, you just look at once back to see the beautiful temple and to seal it in your mind's eye that this is done. This is done. And so it is. And as you walk back out of the little clearing, back to where you began your journey, looking over this incredible, beautiful landscape, you feel this sense of serenity and peace in your heart, that this is now done. And as you look above in the sky, you see the most beautiful, slender crescent moon, slightly red, shining in incredible beauty in the sky. And you feel complete. Your seeds are now activated. So bringing your hands together, rub and generate heat. Really generate heat, because this is a fire moon. And then place your palms over your closed eyes, breathing in. And exhale. And one more of those, keeping your eyes shut. Placing your palms over your closed eyes, breathing in. And exhale. And one more of those. Rub, 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 rub. Placing your palms over your closed eyes, breathing in. And exhale. Then you can rub your hair, your jaw, back of the neck. And you can end on your heart. Just rub your heart. Feeling the power of this ritual. And then when you're ready, just come into the space. Feeling this beautiful ritual of the time. I'll just turn this so you can see. It's a bit grayer today, but this is the spring equinox and the birds are singing. And all of life is coming alive. And for those in Australia, there's that point of balance where the equinox is day and night are equal, light and dark are equal. So we have this beautiful point to move through the next 6 months, watching what happens with these seeds and just bless them, bless them, bless them. Bless your intentions. If you want to say anything, Michael, feel free. You're smiling. Or not. You don't have to. But what a great start you've had.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Say again?
I said, yeah, very exciting.
I know.
I'm still kind of getting my head around it all. But yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really beautiful to have the opportunity to it's sort of seeing it is coming together, and like to be able to kind of have that experience and now come and do a ritual based around that as well. It just feels, like the magic is just feels so tangible and
Palpable. I
yeah.
know. Me too. I really feel it right now. It's just like I've moved from the soil. I'm not in soil anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sending you all so much love and blessings at this time. Many blessings, and well, we'll meet again. We shall meet again. But for now, go bless your seeds. And you can actually do planting rituals right now by getting literal seeds or bulbs, little bulbs, and you can make each one a certain thing and you can bless it and plant it. My whole garden is made of blessed bulbs. Much love.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.